So we are given here triangle ABC, and this is what we are told. We are told that M is the midpoint of AB. Okay? So M is the midpoint of AB, and N is the midpoint of AC. Then what? So we're saying if AM is equal to MB, this is another way of saying M is the midpoint of AB, right? And AN is equal to NC, which is another way of saying N is the midpoint of the line AC. Then what can we conclude? Two things that you can conclude. Number one, okay, then MN, the line joining M to N, will be half the length of BC. That is number one. And number two, I want to mention that one as number two, what you said now. The line MN in length will be half the length of BC. We just need to know that that can be proved. We will not prove it today. Okay? Right, so that is one thing. MN should be half the length of BC. What is the other one? Then MN. Yes, MN should be parallel to BC, right? Okay, so guys, you should be able to state the midpoint theorem in your own way. If M is the midpoint of AB and N is the midpoint of AC, then it follows that MN will be parallel to BC. So now you can draw that line MN and confidently show them parallel like that. And then the distance or the length of MN will be half the length of BC. Right, this is one way of stating the midpoint theorem. You do get something like this also. In this case, you are told that AM is equal to MB, which is just another way of saying M is the midpoint of AB. If AM is equal to MB and MN is parallel to BC, right? If we know those two, then what can we conclude? Say that again. Then AN will be equal to NC. Is there another one? Right. You can state another one, yes, if you want. Guys, if M is the midpoint of this line, and these two lines are given as parallel, it follows that N will be the midpoint of the other line, and the length MN will be half the length BC as well. So you can state the midpoint theorem in many, or in these two different ways. Should you get a question where you are using the midpoint theorem, the reason you will give is midpoint theorem. Just say midpoint theorem, right? You don't have to state this whole paragraph. Just midpoint theorem will be fine.